Michael Jackson Artistry. Influences. Jackson was influenced by musicians including Little Richard, James Brown, Jackie Wilson, Diana Ross, Fred Astaire, Sammy Davis Jr., Gene Kelly, David Ruffin, the Isley Brothers, and the Bee Gees. While Little Richard had a substantial influence on Jackson, James Brown was his greatest inspiration. He said, "Ever since I was a small child, no more than like 6 years old, my mother would wake me no matter what time it was, if I was sleeping, no matter what I was doing, to watch the television to see the master at work. And when I saw him move, I was mesmerized. I had never seen a performer perform like James Brown, and right then and there I knew that was exactly what I wanted to do for the rest of my life because of James Brown." Jackson owed his vocal technique in large part to Diana Ross, especially his use of the ooh interjection, which he used from a young age. Ross had used this effect on many of the songs recorded with the Supremes. Not only a mother figure to him, she was often observed in rehearsal as an accomplished performer. He said, "I got to know her well. She taught me so much. I used to just sit in the corner and watch the way she moved. She was art in motion. I studied the way she moved, the way she sang, just the way she was." He told her, "I want to be just like you, Diana." She said, "You just be yourself." According to choreographer David Winters, who met and befriended Jackson while choreographing the 1971 Diana Ross TV special Diana, Jackson watched the musical West Side Story almost every week, and it was his favorite film. He paid tribute to it in Beat It and the Bad Video. Musicianship. Jackson had no formal music training and could not read or write music notation. He is credited for playing instruments including guitar, keyboard and drums, but was proficient in none. Instead, when composing, he recorded ideas by beatboxing and imitating instruments vocally. Describing his process, he said, "I'll just sing the bass part into the tape recorder. I'll take that bass lick and put the chords of the melody over the bass lick, and that's what inspires the melody." Engineer Robert Hoffman recalled Jackson dictating a guitar chord note by note, and singing entire string arrangements part by part into a cassette recorder. Themes and genres. Jackson explored genres including pop, soul, rhythm and blues, funk, rock, disco, post-disco, dance pop and new jack swing. According to Steve Huey of AllMusic, Thriller refined the strengths of Off the Wall. The dance and rock tracks were more aggressive, while the pop tunes and ballads were softer and more soulful. Its tracks included the ballads The Lady in My Life, Human Nature, and The Girl Is Mine, the funk pieces Billie Jean and Wanna Be Startin' Somethin', and the disco set Baby Be Mine and PYT, Pretty Young Thing. With Thriller, Christopher Connolly of Rolling Stone commented that Jackson developed his long association with the subliminal theme of paranoia and darker imagery. AllMusic's Stephen Thomas Early Y noted this is evident on the songs Billie Jean and Wanna Be Startin' Somethin'. In Billie Jean, Jackson sings about an obsessive fan who alleges he has fathered a child of hers. In Wanna Be Startin' Somethin' he argues against gossip in the media. Beat It decried gang violence in an homage to West Side Story, and was Jackson's first successful rock crossover piece, according to Huey. He also observed that the title track Thriller began Jackson's interest with the theme of the supernatural, a topic he revisited in subsequent years. In 1985, Jackson co-wrote the charity anthem We Are the World. Humanitarian themes later became a recurring theme in his lyrics and public persona. In Bad, Jackson's concept of the predatory lover is seen on the rock song Dirty Diana. The lead single I Just Can't Stop Loving You is a traditional love ballad, while Man in the Mirror is an anthemic ballad of confession and resolution. Smooth Criminal is an evocation of bloody assault, rape and likely murder. AllMusic's Stephen Thomas Early Wine states that Dangerous presents Jackson as a paradoxical individual. He comments the album is more diverse than his previous Bad, as it appeals to an urban audience while also attracting the middle class with anthems like Heal the World. The first half of the record is dedicated to new Jack swing, including songs like Jam and Remember the Time. It was the first Jackson album in which social ills become a primary theme. Why You Wanna Trip on Me, for example, protests world hunger, AIDS, homelessness and drugs. Dangerous contains sexually charged songs such as the multifaceted love song In the Closet. The title track continues the theme of the predatory lover and compulsive desire. The second half includes introspective, pop gospel anthems such as Will You Be There, Heal the World and Keep the Faith, These songs show Jackson opening up about various personal struggles and worries. In the ballad Gone Too Soon, Jackson gives tribute to his friend Ryan White and the plight of those with AIDS. HI Story creates an atmosphere of paranoia. Its content focuses on the hardships and public struggles Jackson went through prior to its production. In the new Jack swing funk rock tracks Scream and Tabloid Junkie, and the R&B ballad You Are Not Alone, Jackson retaliates against the injustice and isolation he feels, and directs much of his anger at the media. In the introspective ballad Stranger in Moscow, Jackson laments his fall from grace, while Earth Song, Childhood, Little Susie and Smile are operatic pop songs. In the DS, Jackson launched a verbal attack against the lawyer Tom Sneddon, who had prosecuted him in both child sexual abuse cases. He describes Sneddon as an anti-social white supremacist who wanted to get my ass, dead or alive. Of the song, Sneddon said, "I have not, shall we say, done him the honor of listening to it, but I've been told that it ends with the sound of a gunshot." Invincible found Jackson working heavily with producer Rodney Jerkins. The album comprises urban soul tracks such as Cry and the Lost Children, ballads such as Speechless, Break of Dawn, and Butterflies, and mixes hip-hop, pop, and R&B in 2000 Watts, Heartbreaker and Invincible. Vocal style. Jackson sang from childhood, and over time his voice and vocal style changed noticeably. Between 1971 and 1975, his voice descended from boy soprano to high tenor. His vocal range as an adult was F2E6. Jackson first used the vocal hiccup technique, similar to gulping for air or gasping, in 1973, with the song It's Too Late to Change the Time from the Jackson 5's album GIT, Get It Together. Jackson did not use the technique fully until the recording of Off the Wall. It can be seen in full force in the Shake Your Body, Down to the Ground promotional video. With the arrival of Off the Wall in the late 1970s, Jackson's abilities as a vocalist were well regarded. At the time, Rolling Stone compared his vocals to the breathless, dreamy stutter of Stevie Wonder, and wrote that Jackson's feathery timbre tenor is extraordinarily beautiful. It slides smoothly into a startling falsetto that's used very daringly. 1982 saw the release of Thriller, and Rolling Stone was of the opinion that Jackson was then singing in a fully adult voice that was tinged by sadness. A distinctive deliberate mispronunciation of come on, used frequently by Jackson, occasionally spelled come on, chamon, or shamon, is also a staple in impressions and caricatures of him. The turn of the 1990s saw the release of the introspective album Dangerous. The New York Times noted that on some tracks, he gulps for breath, his voice quivers with anxiety or drops to a desperate whisper, hissing through clenched teeth, and he had a wretched tone. When singing of brotherhood or self-esteem, the musician would return to smooth vocals. Of Invincible, Rolling Stone was of the opinion that, at age 43, Jackson still performed exquisitely voiced rhythm tracks and vibrating vocal harmonies. Nelson George wrote, "The grace, the aggression, the growling, the natural boyishness, the falsetto, the smoothness, that combination of elements mark him as a major vocalist." Cultural critic Joseph Vogel notes that Jackson had a distinctive style as his ability to convey emotion without the use of language. There are his trademark gulps, grunts, gasps, cries, exclamations. He also frequently scats or twists and contorts words until they are barely discernible. Neil McCormick notes that Jackson's unorthodox singing style was original and utterly distinctive, from his almost ethereal falsetto to his soft, sweet midtones, his fluid, seamless control of often very fast-moving series of notes, his percussive yet still melodic outbursts, ululations and interjections, from those spooky tee-hee-hees to grunts and wails. Unusually for someone coming from a Black American soul tradition, he did not often sing straight, unadorned ballads, though when he did, from Ben to She's Out of My Life, the effect was of a powerful simplicity and truth. Music videos and choreography. Jackson has been called the king of music videos. Steve Huey of AllMusic observed how Jackson transformed the music video into an art form and a promotional tool through complex storylines, dance routines, special effects and famous cameo appearances, simultaneously breaking down racial barriers. Before Thriller, Jackson struggled to receive coverage on MTV, allegedly because he was African American. Pressure from CBS Records persuaded MTV to start showing Billie Jean and later Beat It, leading to a lengthy partnership with Jackson, also helping other black music artists gain recognition. MTV employees deny any racism in their coverage, or pressured to change their stance. MTV maintains that they played rock music, regardless of race. The popularity of his videos on MTV helped to put the relatively young channel on the map. MTV's focus shifted in favor of pop and R&B. His performance on Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever changed the scope of live stage show. That Jackson lip-synced Billie Jean is, in itself, not extraordinary, but the fact that it did not change the impact of the performance is extraordinary. Whether the performance was live or lip-sync made no difference to the audience, thus creating an era in which artists recreate the spectacle of music video imagery on stage. Short films like Thriller largely remain unique to Jackson, while the group dance sequence in Beat It has frequently been imitated. The choreography in Thriller has become a part of global pop culture, replicated everywhere from Indian films to prisons in the Philippines. The Thriller short film marked an increase in scale for music videos, and has been named the most successful music video ever by the Guinness World Records. In the 19-minute music video for Bad, directed by Martin Scorsese, Jackson began using sexual imagery and choreography not previously seen in his work. He occasionally grabbed or touched his chest, torso and crotch. When asked by Oprah in the 1993 interview about why he grabbed his crotch, he replied, "I think it happens subliminally," and he described it as something that was not planned, but rather, as something that was compelled by the music. Bad garnered a mixed reception from both fans and critics. Time magazine described it as infamous. The video also featured Wesley Snipes. In the future, Jackson's videos would often feature famous cameo roles. For the Smooth Criminal video, Jackson experimented with an anti-gravity lean where the performer leans forward at a 45-degree angle, beyond the performer's center of gravity. To accomplish this move live, Jackson and designers developed a special shoe that locks the performer's feet to the stage, allowing them to lean forward. They were granted U.S. Patent 5,255,452 for the device. Although the music video for Leave Me Alone was not officially released in the U.S., in 1989 it was nominated for 3 Billboard Music Video Awards. The same year it won a Golden Lion Award for the quality of the special effects used in its production. In 1990, Leave Me Alone won a Grammy for Best Music Video, short form. He received the MTV Video Vanguard Award in 1988 and the MTV Video Vanguard Artist of the Decade Award in 1990 to celebrate his accomplishments in the art form in the 1980s. In 1991 the first award was renamed in his honor. Black or White was accompanied by a controversial music video, which, on November 14, 1991, simultaneously premiered in 27 countries with an estimated audience of 500 million people, the largest viewing ever for a music video at that time. Complaints that it featured scenes of violence and a sexually suggestive dance led to the offending scenes in the final half of the 14-minute version being edited to prevent the video from being banned, and Jackson apologized. Along with Jackson, it featured Macaulay Culkin, Peggy Lipton, and George Wendt. It helped usher in morphing as an important technology in music videos. Remember the Time was an elaborate production, and became one of his longest videos at over 9 minutes. Set in ancient Egypt, it featured groundbreaking visual effects and appearances by Eddie Murphy, Iman, and Magic Johnson, along with a distinct complex dance routine. The video for In the Closet was Jackson's most sexually provocative piece. It featured supermodel Naomi Campbell in a courtship dance with Jackson. The video was banned in South Africa because of its imagery. The music video for Scream, directed by Mark Romanek and production designer Tom Foden, is one of Jackson's most critically acclaimed. In 1995, it gained 11 MTV Video Music Award nominations, more than any other music video, and won Best Dance Video, Best Choreography, and Best Art Direction. The song and its accompanying video are a response to the backlash Jackson received from the media after being accused of child molestation in 1993. A year later, it won a Grammy for Best Music Video, short form. Shortly afterwards, Guinness World Records listed it as the most expensive music video ever made, at a cost of $7 million. Earth Song was accompanied by an expensive and well-received music video, which gained a Grammy nomination for Best Music Video, short form in 1997. The video had an environmental theme, showing images of animal cruelty, deforestation, pollution and war. Using special effects, time is reversed so that life returns, wars end, and the forests regrow. Released in 1997 and premiering at the 1996 Cannes Film Festival, Michael Jackson's Ghosts was a short film written by Jackson and Stephen King and directed by Stan Winston. The video for Ghosts is over 38 minutes long and holds the Guinness World Record as the world's longest music video. The music video for You Rock My World, which is 13.5 minutes long, was directed by Paul Hunter, and was released in 2001. The video features appearances from Chris Tucker and Marlon Brando. The video won an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Music Video at the award show's 2002 ceremony.